Yes, guys, welcome back to another stream. How are we all doing on this Monday morning? Hopefully you guys are all well. Please make sure you drop a like on the stream if you've not done so already, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. Let's get those likes up. We've got over 75 people tuned in straight away this morning. Let's get the likes up to at least 50 likes. Please hit that thumbs up button and make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. Let's have a look who's in the building today. Big up to Dipashanu. Big up to Roll. Big up to, who else we got in here? Big up to Patrick, KDB, Shahin, Hayden. Big up to Dan, Mank Ninja, Ichigo, Ollie Smith. Big up to Perneat. Big up to Captain Harris, Ravit, D-Money's here in the building as well. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Please make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. The rumour mill is certainly going round again. Last week, we got the news that Jurgen Klopp is leaving Liverpool Football Club, and rumours coming out last night that Mikel Arteta is considering his future at Arsenal. The latest news coming out here from Sport, which is a Spanish publication, says this: breaking, Mikel Arteta has informed his entourage that he is leaving Arsenal at the end of the season. This has been reported by Sport. Now, it does have a community note which says the Sport article that posts that the post cites does not say that Arteta is leaving Arsenal. The article states that Arteta could leave as he's being considered by Barcelona after Xavi. Of course, if you've not heard the news, Xavi has announced his not retirement, but he's leaving Barcelona at the end of the season. So there is going to be a manager's job available at Barcelona coming next season. It also states that he may be experiencing fatigue at Arsenal or is looking for a new challenge. So, wow, I mean, Mikel Arteta has only got 1 year left on his contract at the moment. So Arsenal are in this position of, do they want to re-sign him on a new deal? Do Barcelona want to maybe try and take Mikel Arteta to Barcelona? Now, it is important to note that the English media have come back at this and said Mikel Arteta, in fact, has no plans to walk away from Arsenal at the end of the season. Arteta remains committed to Arsenal, where he's contracted until 2025. He's always played down the links to Barcelona and stressed his commitment to Arsenal. He's determined to win major trophies with the Gunners. So, who do you believe? Do you believe the Spanish media, in that Arteta is seriously considering this job at Barcelona, or do you believe the English media in that now he's not interested and he wants to stay at Arsenal? And what do Arsenal do here? Do Arsenal give him a new deal? This is what I'd do if I was Arsenal. I don't see the rush to sign Arteta up to a new deal. Why? Well, what's the point? He's got 1 year left on his contract. If he doesn't win the league this year, then that's a failure, right? Because that was the goal. That was the goal, to win the league this year. If he doesn't win it next year, well, why would you give him a new contract if he doesn't win the... he'd be in charge for 6 years. Why would you give him a new contract at the end of next season if he don't win the league? For me, if I was Arsenal, I'd just be like, well, there's no rush. There's literally no rush to offer this guy a new contract unless you're desperate not to leave him. But why would you be desperate for him to leave? He's not won anything. Been there 4.5 years, spent 700 million quid, and he's won 1 FA Cup. By the way, with the team that wasn't even his, it was Emery's team. So for me, I don't see the rush, personally, for Arsenal to offer this guy a new contract. I just don't see the point. What's the point? Just wait. Just see it out. If he wins the league this year or next year, fine, offer him a new deal. But what's the point in rushing into it? Now, from a Barcelona point of view, of course, you've got to look at who would they want as the next manager. Because there's no one out there, man. So do you go for Arteta? Do you maybe go for a De Zerbi? De Zerbi is probably going to be easier to get than Mikel Arteta, because Mikel Arteta is at Arsenal. Obviously, Arteta would... You know, even though they've not won anything, surely Arteta's got to actually think about whether or not he wants to leave Arsenal. Arsenal are in decent shape right now. They've got a decent team. Whereas De Zerbi, with all due respect to Brighton, I'd be very surprised if he decides to turn down Barcelona to stay at Brighton. So that might be an easier sort of manager to get. But, you know, I wonder if this is just Barcelona trying to stir up some interest, you know, to try and find out whether or not Arteta is interested. You know, will this force Arsenal to offer Mikel Arteta a new contract earlier? Because, of course, if the Arsenal board really don't want to lose Mikel Arteta, you probably don't want to run down the contract, because, of course, then he can just leave for free and you're not going to get any money from him. But I just don't see the point. I just don't see the point in Arsenal offering him a new deal yet, because he's not done anything. Why are you going to offer him a new deal? Like, now, what's the point? Just wait. Just wait it out. He's already on big cash. He's already got a contract until 2025. I don't really see the issue in waiting to see how he gets on this year or next year. Now, you've got the Arsenal fans that are backing the process, that are backing Mikel Arteta, and that's fine if they want to do that. But even if you're one of those Arsenal fans, what's the rush? Now, on the flip side, the people who are Arteta out, you know, your league gunners, them sort of people, your North sides, these guys who don't want him to be the manager, again, they're probably going to say, well, what's the point in offering a new deal? Same point for me, to be honest. I just don't really get the rush. Do you know what I mean? I just don't really get it. Now, the problem that I have with Barcelona is it, obviously it's an attractive club to manage because it's a huge football club, you know, a lot of history at that football club. And obviously, you know, so manage Barcelona would be good, but they have financial situations of their own. You know what I mean? That you're not going to be able to go there and start buying the best talent and really get them challenging for Champions League. I mean, their finances are in the mud. You know, there's always rumours coming out that they've got to sell the best players to be able to buy players. Echeverri, for an example, they couldn't even afford to buy Echeverri. Echeverri, if you believe the rumours, Echeverri actually wanted to join Barcelona. He's Argentine. He wanted to follow in the footsteps of Messi, but they couldn't afford him. And that was, what, 14 million quid? And Barcelona couldn't afford that. So would you really want to leave Arsenal, where finances don't seem to be a problem? They're spending £200 million a summer at the moment, to go to a Barcelona side where, what, you might get 60, 70 million pounds to spend a year, if that, because the finances are in the mud. I don't know. I don't know if that is... Obviously, it's a more attractive club to manage because you'd rather manage Barcelona than Arsenal, but you want to manage Barcelona where you've got funds to be able to invest into the team, not a Barcelona where you're going to go and you're going to be told, well, you can't sign him because we've not got the money. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know, guys. Give me your thoughts in the comment section. I'm interested to hear what you guys have got to say about this. Karl says, if this is Spanish media, I can't see it being true. Well, this is apparently what people are saying in this country, that they reckon it's just Barcelona are trying to cause problems here, you know, rather than it actually being true. But I guess this is the thing, you never really know. Barcelona have been linked with Luis Enrique. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, PSG is a club that really, what's going on there? Is that a club really that, again, you want to manage? You know, never seem to be able to do anything in the Champions League, so I don't know. Chris says, nah, LB, let them extend Arteta. Well, listen, bro. I mean, there's a lot of people saying let him extend Mikel Arteta because he's not won anything. And listen, I understand why people would say that, but you know, for me, I'm kind of like, I don't really know, man. If I was an Arsenal fan, because if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't right now be Arteta out in the sense of like sack him now. I'm not like as strong on it as Lee Gunner, but I certainly wouldn't be offering him a new deal. I'd get to the end of the season this year, see how we get on. If they miss the league by, what, a point, 2 points, 3 points, then I give him next year. But I wouldn't renew his contract unless he wins the league. You can't just keep going and saying, oh, well, we'll give him another year. We'll give him another year. Arsenal are not a test rat. Yeah, they're not a test rat. You can't just keep on booking trial and error, keep on killing the rat every year. You know, you've got to actually say at one point the medicine works and say, right, we've got the product, and the product is Arsenal actually win something. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't sack him now if I was Arsenal. I'd see how he gets on this year. For me, he's got to either win the league. In terms of domestic, he's got to win the league or finish very, very close to Manchester City. And Champions League, I expect him to beat Porto. Yeah, that gets you to the quarterfinal. Then obviously it's luck of the draw. Then who do you get? But you know what I mean? Like if they get a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, and Manchester City, it's not acceptable if they get thumped 3-4, 5-0 like they did in the past. You know what I mean? When they went to the Allianz Arena twice in 2 years, and I think aggregate was like 10-1 or something like that to Bayern Munich. That's not acceptable. So he needs to get to the end of the season either winning something or at the very least being seriously competitive and going, wow, we're close. And then next year, the final year of his contract, it's simple. You've got to win something. That's the aim of the game. You have to actually win something. And if he doesn't win anything, no problem. See you later. We'll move on. You took us as far as you can go. You know what I mean? You took over, I think Emery had them in 8th in his first year. He finished in 8th. He finished 8th again, then missed out on the Champions League, then finished 2nd. If you can't bridge the gap, you can't just keep on saying, well, Pep Guardiola's in the league, so what can you do? You've got to actually try. You've got to try and get someone in. So for me personally, I would, if I was Arsenal, I would not offer him a new deal yet. I wouldn't sack him either, but I would say to him this season and next season, you've got to win something. If you don't, you've got to go at the end of the contract. We're not renewing. You can't just keep on renewing manager contracts when they don't win. That's not phases. That's just delusion. You've got to try and get a manager in that can do something better. The question is, who do you get? Because For me, there's no point in going from Arteta to De Zerbi. That's the same sort of managerial type. If you let Arteta leave, for me, you've got to go get the next bracket. There's Zidane, the Ancelotti, maybe the Mourinho. I don't know about Mourinho. Mourinho, I think his club managerial career is over for me. I'd rather him go into international football. But you get what I mean. You've got to get a manager who's been there and done it, rather than this sort of constant, how do you say, just like process and phases. You know, some of the Arsenal fans, when they're talking about, oh, we're in phase 5, we're in phase 6. What are you talking about? I don't get what they're on about, some of these Arsenal fans. So that's what I'm saying. Let's have a look what you guys are saying. Big up to Rodri16. How would you rate Arteta's time at Arsenal? Well, I mean, what? He's won one FA Cup in 4.5 years. He spent 700 million quid. He bottled top 4. He bottled the league. I think you have to say what? Like a 4? I think you have to say a 4. I don't know how you could give him a good rating. How can you give him how could you give him a 7, an 8, a 9, a 10? How could you do that when he's won one FA Cup and he spent 700 million? He bottled top 4 and he bottled the league. How can you give him a good rating? Oh, because he's got them competing. What are you talking about? They've got a good team. It's irrelevant whether they're competing or not. They've got a good team, a team that should be winning at least Carabao Cup, at least an FA Cup. So I'd give him a 4 out of 10. He won a Community Shield too. Oh, Daniel, stop that, man. Stop that, bro. Don't disrespect Mourinho. Listen, Punny, I like Mourinho. I'd have him as the England manager. I don't know about you, Punny, but I just feel that maybe the day in, day out, constant working of club football might have taken its toll on Jose Mourinho, and maybe he should go into international management. That's where I'm at with it. 700 million for an FA Cup, that's mad. Exactly, it's mad. And you know, they played City twice last year. We played them off the park both times. So for me, I think, like I say, for me, guys, get me your thoughts in. Would you sack him? Right, there's 3 options. If you're Arsenal now, would you sack Arteta? Would you leave him in the job but not offer him a new contract and just see how he gets on for the next year, the next 18 months? Or would you offer him a new deal? Which one would you do, guys? Let me know in the chat. Sack him now. Leave him in the job but don't offer him a new contract, so then he's got 18 months left. Or would you offer him a new deal? Let me know in the chat what you guys are saying. I want to see what you guys are saying. I'm going for option 2, by the way. I'm going for option 2. I wouldn't sack him right now, but I wouldn't offer him a new contract. No way. No way. He's got to show me in the next 18 months that he can actually win something for me to be able to offer him a new contract. Recruit Only says, leave in the job. Hayden says, see how he gets on with a new contract. XY Rog says, sack him right now. Lee says, on the basis of Arteta versus Ten Hag has 300 million to spend. Well, this is what I'm saying. Ten Hag got top 4, right? And won a trophy in his first year. Arteta's got Champions League football once, and it took him, his fourth year to get it, and won 1 trophy. So you'd have to say Ten Hag's done a better job than Arteta. And I'm saying Ten Hag should be sacked. Now, the difference is with Ten Hag and Arteta, and the reason that I'd keep Arteta in the job and not offer him a new deal is because Arteta is competing for the league. That's why I'd keep him in the job, but I wouldn't be offering a new deal. And I'm ruthless with it. Simple. If you don't win the league, you're getting sacked, mate. It's not rocket science. It's the same with Eddie Howe at Newcastle. I'm setting him in target next year. Top 4, or you're sacked. Simple. You know, I said this yesterday on a stream that I did, but I feel like fans get married to players too much, too easy. You know, you support the football club. You don't support a player. You don't support the manager. If the club isn't performing because they're not winning stuff, you sack the manager. It's not difficult. It's not rocket science, and it's not like a controversial take. The guy's not done that well. People say, oh, he's done really well. He's not. He bottled top 4 and then he bottled the league. How is that a good job? So and then he went and spent £65 million on Kai Havertz. What are you talking about? Simple. If he doesn't win the league this year, right, and if he gets beat off Porto, then actually I might change my mind and be like, you know what, maybe he should just be sacked right now, because they should be beating Porto. They should. If you look at Porto's record in the Champions League, whenever they face an English club, they get slapped up, mate. Yeah, Liverpool done them 2 years in a row, and we're not going back years. We're going back 2 years, 3 years. Liverpool done them 2 years in a bounce. I think they're beating 5-0 and 4-0. You know, this is a team that Arsenal should be beaten. Amar says this is a sad day for rival fans. If true, says Amar Arif with the super chat. Well, I don't know about that, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's a sad day. Well, I suppose if you believe that Arteta's never going to win anything, I see the angle that you're coming at there, Amar. Yeah. Maybe it is a sad day if he goes. D Money says the question is, if you let him go, who do you even get? Good managers are scarce, and I'm scared when Pep leaves. Well, this is a good question. So if Arteta was to leave, like I say, I don't think you should get another process manager. And a process manager for me is someone like a De Zerbi. That for me is a process manager. Yeah, because we don't know if he's going to win anything. So if you sack him or he leaves at the end of his contract, for me, you've got to try and get a Simeone, an Ancelotti, a Zidane. Because there's no point in sacking him and getting him a De Zerbi. You just rewrite, you're just redoing the whole thing. You go back to draw one, the step one process. You're at the end of the process now. The process is finished. So Arsenal fans will have you. Yeah, the process was to try and get Arsenal competing. Okay, well, that's happening now. Arsenal are competing. So the process is finished. The next step in the process is to win something. So there's no point in sacking him and getting someone like that. So you've got to try and get you've got to try and get someone like a Simeone or someone like that who can come in and try and actually win something. Prodigal says we haven't had the annual January sack this year. Sack him, says Prodigal. Big up to Prodigal. Total Football says Pep and Arteta at City would be nice. Yeah, he's not going to go back to a second place. No chance. Not even Zidane. He was poor in the league. Well, I know that he didn't win a trophy. I don't know he didn't win a league title, but he did win 3 Champions Leagues on a spin. So I think that for me, whilst I share your concern, given the fact he won 3 Champions Leagues in a row, I think you'd still have to consider him a good manager, in my opinion. But if you bring him in and it doesn't work, sack him. You don't have to give him 7 years. You know what I mean? If you sack Arteta and bring in a new manager, the goals are clear. You are being brought into this team to win trophies. If you don't win trophies, you'll be sacked. It's like, I feel like this used to happen all the time back in the day. Chelsea did it all the time. They had a team that could win stuff. So if you didn't win something, you were sacked. And they were the most successful team in the country for what, a decade? Real Madrid, they sack the managers all the time. If you don't win, you're sacked. So again, I'm not 100% sure why football has changed. Football seems to have changed to a position now where you have to keep your manager for 7 years. Why? I don't get it. I don't get why football's gone down that road. Hansi Flick is still available. He won 6 trophies in a year with Bayern Munich. Well, listen, Hansi Flick is obviously another name that has been thrown in there about could you potentially get him at Arsenal. 58-year-old manager. He's not got a club either, so you don't have to pay any compensation. Obviously didn't do very well at Germany. It did shocking at Germany, to be honest with you. But whilst he was at Bayern Munich, the guy slammed. He had a 2.53 points per match, which is one of the highest I've ever seen. Whilst he was there, he won a lot as well. He won what did he win? He won the Champions League, 2 German league titles, 1 German Cup, 1 UEFA Super Cup. He won the Club World Cup, the German Super Cup winner. So he's won a lot. He's won a lot there when he was there. But obviously, it depends whether they want to get him. I would say out of the ones available, he's probably the most risky because he was only there for a few years. But he did, at the end of the day, he was only there for a few years and won. He was only there for a few years, but won the actual trophies that they wanted to win. So, yeah, why not? Why not? And if it doesn't work, no problem. Get a new manager in. It's not that difficult. Turbo Virgin says Arsenal signing Xavi would be quality, such a dead manager. I mean, that is just stupid, isn't it, Turbo Virgin? Because the guy's clearly out of his depth. Fair dues for him to stepping down because I think he knows he's not able to manage his team to the level that he needs. Daz Blue said, look at United. In the same time Fergie was there, Barca had about 15 coaches and 1 more silverware. You know what it is, Daz? I think fans are so obsessed with having a manager that manages a team for 10 years, 20 years. And listen, when you get that, like City have got with Pep Guardiola, it's great. Isn't it? Mint, we all love Pep Guardiola. He's a legend of the football club. He wins. But it's rare that happens, man. It's rare that you get a manager that good where they win year in, year out. Why? Because they get tired after a long time. They want a break. It's a strenuous job. Dealing with the media day in, day out. Dealing with players, transfers, contracts, everything. It's hard. So I think that fans are getting too obsessed with this, and they just need to focus on actually winning stuff. You know what I mean? Talk to me about Chelsea's situation. Well, I'd sack Pochettino, bro. I actually would just sack him. I just don't think he's good enough. He's never won anything wherever he's been. Sack him off. Get a better manager, in my opinion. I don't think he's there. So yeah, listen, it's certainly an interesting situation developing at Arsenal. What's going to happen there? Is he going to leave? Is he going to stay? Like I say, for me personally, I wouldn't offer him a new contract. I wouldn't sack him this year. Well, this right now. I would wait till the end of the season. If he gets knocked out of Porto, I'd sack him at the end of the year. If he doesn't win the league or come within 5 points of Manchester City, I'd sack him. If he doesn't win the Champions League and he doesn't win the league and they keep him in a job next year, it's quite simple. Win the Champions League or the league or you're fired. Simple as. Oh, not fired, but you just don't renew his contract. Simple as. Because then that's what? 2 years? No, it'd be 3 years. It'd be 3 years because last season, this season and next season that he fails to win the league. Sack him. Don't renew his contract. What's the point? That'd be 3 years on the bounce. He failed to win a major trophy. Why would you? I just don't get it. I really don't. LB, not all clubs can afford paying out compensation, bro. It takes patience. Well, first of all, I don't accept that when it comes to Arsenal because they spent £65 million on Havertz. However, no problem. Just don't renew his contract then. 1 more year next year. If he doesn't win the league or Champions League, don't renew his contract. There's no compensation to pay. He leaves on a free. So I don't believe that when it comes to Arsenal. But even if you do want to apply that to Arsenal, I'd say, right then, no problem. Just give him next year and then let him go on a free because his contract runs out at the end of next season, in my opinion. What went wrong for winning Champions League? We are a mid-table team. You sold all your players. You got rid of Tuchel. You sold all your players. You replaced them with worse players. Bro, that team you have now is crap, bro. I look at those players, I'm thinking, how many of those players would I take at Manchester City? 2, 1. Right? Taking none of your players, man. And you spent 100 millions on these players. You bought a lot of mid players. That's why you're mid-table. It's not rocket science, bro. Like your owners have destroyed your football club, mate. Spent £1 billion and you're 10th. That's why. Blame it on your owners. Yeah, they got rid of a good manager, replaced him with Graham Potter, replaced him with Pochettino. Why? It's ridiculous. There's probably like 1 or 2 players I'd take from your team and you spent £1 billion. That's ridiculous. I should be saying, yeah, I'd take 3, 4, 5, 6 players. But nah, no chance. No chance at all. Let's see what you guys are saying. Barcelona has chosen coaches who have the Cruyff school. They've done that since Cruyff was at the club. Yeah, facts. You know what I mean? Be interesting to see who they get after Xavi. But they're I think they're in the mud, man. I think they're in the mud. You know what I mean? They've got no money to spend. They're in a serious mud situation. So I don't know where they're going to go from this. And again, there's always constant rumours coming out that they're going to have to sell players. And if they do, I just don't see where they go from that. You know what I mean? Pep making other managers look average. They're dying for him to leave. I don't think he's looking them look average. I think they are just average. The only non-average manager in this league is Klopp. Everyone else is, Arteta is average. Ten Hag is average. Pochettino is average. Eddie Howe is average. I say Emery. Emery's a weird one because he's not an average manager, but he's never really he's struggled in the leagues. However, to be fair, he's never really managed a club which probably has the capability of winning the league. But yeah, I would say he's higher than average, to be fair, Emery. But he's not up there with Klopp and Pep for me. But everyone else is average. What did they say? What did they say? Higher monkeys. There's like a phrase where like higher monkeys. Phrase. What's that? Higher monkeys. Oh, you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Yeah, like listen, you hire average managers, you get average performances. There you go. Quite simple. Turbo Virgil said Ange could probably be above if he either wins Spurs or gets a bigger job, wins there. But yeah, there's no difference between Ange and Arteta. I mean, Ange just got them fighting for top 4 in his first year. Arsenal finished 8th and then 5th. If Ange finishes in the top 4 this year, other than the fact that Arteta won a trophy, he's done better than Arteta already. He's been there, a year, and he's lost his best player. I don't think Arteta has the right mentality to take a team to the top. He comes across as very entitled, says Mank Ninja. I think he's arrogant, man. I think the guy's an arrogant guy. The fact that he thought he could buy Havertz for £65 million, I think that's absolutely shocking. I think it's shocking. Yeah, I've seen the Tommy tweet about Kimmich. Yeah, I've seen that, bro. Gunanel says, I was trolling, by the way, with crap. I didn't see your last comment, bro. But yeah, interesting. Eddie is better than average. FFP preventing progress, in my opinion. I don't think you can say he's better than average, bro. I don't think you can say better than average yet. He finished 4th last year, which is decent. But then this year, he got knocked out. He won 1 game in the Champions League. So it's a shocking Champions League campaign. He's now 10th. So I don't think you can say he's better than average yet. I'd still say he's average at this moment in time. Who will we get after Pep? I have no idea, mate. I have no idea who we're going to get. Rumour has it that City really like De Zerbi. But if you ask me what I think is going to happen, I think Barcelona will get De Zerbi. Or maybe Luis Enrique. So who does City get after that? I have no idea. I literally have no idea who you're going to get. Let's just hope that we don't have to answer that question for a long time. There aren't many elite managers now. There's so many that fell off. Allegri, Mourinho, Tuchel, Nagelsmann, and Pep, Klopp, Ancelotti are only the ones that are elite now. Facts. That is facts. I put Simeone as a good manager as well, but I don't think I put Simeone in the Ancelotti bracket or the Pep bracket. I'd probably put Simeone in the Klopp bracket, to be honest with you. I'd probably put him in the Klopp bracket. You want the Girona manager? Yeah, Mitchell. I mean, maybe, but again, what's he won? Has he won anything as a manager? He won the Segunda Division with Rayo Vallecano. Won it again with Huesca. Yeah, I mean, he's doing a good job, isn't it? But, like, he's never won anything. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know. Right, anyway, guys, it was only a quick stream because I'm on with Saeed. The midday live stream. Guys, these streams absolutely pop off. So make sure you come join me. There's a redirect on. So don't go anywhere. It'll say up next, Saeed, midday live. This stream always pops off, guys. So make sure you get over there. It's only a quick stream today. Big up to everyone. I'll be live again later on. Got a couple of streams today. I'm on with Terry on Top 6 at 6 o'clock. And I'm on Football 12-Man Podcast at 8. So loads of stuff, loads of content today. Let's go over to midday live, guys. If you've never been in the midday live stream before, you might want to join. It pops off. Guys, big up to join me. It's only a quick one. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in midday lives in a bit.